Facebook is announcing what some are calling a major shift. CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced in a blog post that the company plans to move towards encrypted and quickly disappearing forms of communication. He wrote, and I'm quoting here, "As I think about the future of the internet, I believe a privacy-focused communications platform will become even more important than today's open platforms." I'm going to bring in CNET senior producer Dan Patterson. Dan, what more do we know about this?
So Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram are three individual products that Facebook owns. They all have messaging capabilities, but they all have legacy individualized messaging capabilities, meaning Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram are unable to communicate on the back end, the databases, with each other. Facebook is streamlining this to make things more efficient and to provide one unified system.
We know that Zuckerberg is doing this for privacy issues to sort of combat that issue. But this isn't entirely altruistic, right? He's going to be making money off of this.
Yeah, so they say this is about privacy, but it's also about monetization. There are a number of ways they can make money on this. One is simply by making things a little more efficient, but the other is through cryptocurrency and through payments, transferring of money. So if you think about the way companies like Venmo and others monetize, cash is monetized on the float, meaning interest is gained when a company owns money. They reinvest it just like a bank. And with cryptocurrency, Facebook could conceivably take a percentage of each transaction.
We also know that companies like Russia and China have really pushed to have their information stored locally, so then they can have access to that. Zuckerberg said today that upholding this principle of encryption here may mean that our services will get blocked in some countries. What does that mean for them and their business model?
Well, it means that Facebook could be, depending on how you look at it, either walled off from parts of the world, or they could wall off other parts of the world. So it's kind of like different sides of the same coin. But look, if countries like Russia or China create their own internet, it also means they're responsible for creating their own infrastructure. And one trend that we've seen through these large social media and technology firms is that they're almost extranational organizations, meaning they're so large and they have such influence that they're able to communicate across boundaries. So depending on if you are Russia or China or Facebook, it may be that Facebook is the more powerful entity and is able to say, hey, look, we have our own monetization system, our own cryptocurrency, and our own communications platform. So it could be that countries end up being like isolated islands and have the opposite intended effect.
So interesting here. You said, I want to ask you also, there was a survey done in 2017, and it found that Facebook, about 15 million people have just stopped using the platform versus Instagram, where they've actually grown. What do you make of that trend?
Well, let's not forget that Instagram is owned by Facebook. So as we see one side of the seesaw go down, the other side goes up, but the same company owns the seesaw. So wherever the users are, they're still on a Facebook platform.
Why do you think it is, though, they're moving to Instagram? And is it because of these privacy issues that Facebook has faced?
Well, privacy could be one thing. We could certainly see demographic and simply trends shifting with time, but it could be simplicity. Look, Instagram is one thing. It is photos.
Right.
Facebook is a number of different things, and often it's confusing. Instagram, it's easy for me to load. It's easy for me to understand why I'm there, and it's real easy for me to share things. With Facebook, you have more and more of these services kind of bundled under the Facebook banner, and it becomes complex.
Dan Patterson, thank you for joining us, Dan.